Hi, I'm Rabbi Alon Ferenczi, coming to you from Heska Emunah Synagogue in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm hoping to make this a regular thing and share with you a little bit of teaching every week just before Shabbat, so you can have something to think about as you go into your weekend and your Sabbath. So this week in the Torah reading, what we call our Parashah, the regular reading, in some churches it might be called a lectionary, we read from the Parashat of Naso, which is the early chapters of the book of Numbers that describe the Nazarite, someone who abstains from grapes and other things as a fulfillment of a vow. So this is also the week when we read about, in our supplementary reading, we read about Samson, a story from the book of Judges that is about a Nazarite particularly. So Simon the Righteous in our Talmud and Midrashim says, "In the whole of my life I never ate from the guilt offering of Nazar," which is to say that there were things that the Nazarite brought at the end of his period of service that could be shared among the community, and Simon the Righteous said he never wanted to validate that process because he didn't maybe think it was appropriate. "But there was a man who came from the south. He had beautiful eyes and handsome features with locks heaped into curls," that classic Mediterranean look of beautiful, curly, thick hair. He's cursed with short, straight hair. As one yoga teacher said, everyone who has curly hair wishes they had straight hair, and everyone who has long hair wishes they had curls. So he asks him, Simon the Righteous asked this young man, "My son, why did you resolve to destroy your hair?" Which is to say, to become a Nazarite. He answered, "In my native town, I was my father's shepherd. And on going to draw water from the well," which was typical of shepherds, "I saw my reflection in the waters, and my heart leaped within me, and my evil inclination, my id, my pride, assailed me, seeking to cause my ruin." Which is to say, his vanity got the better of him. "And I said to it, Evil one, why do you plume yourself over a world that's not your own? For your end is but worms and maggots." I think in this case he's speaking to himself. He looks over himself, kind of peacocking himself, and suggests that this is not what a righteous person would do. That there is no room for vanity in a world where our ultimate end is the grave. "For your end is but worm and maggots. I swear I shall shear these locks for the glory of heaven." And then it returns to Simon the Righteous, who had met this Nazarite, and said, Simon says, "I rose and kissed him on the head and said, may there be more Nazarites like you upon Israel." So this is sort of a fanciful story about someone who's trying to evade their own inclination to vanity, their own insecurities, their own arrogance, their own self-love, excessive self-love. Self-care is important, but self-love can lead us astray. And Simon the Righteous praises this, which is to indicate that there are times that we have to fight against our nature, that we have to fight against our inclinations to, in this case, vanity, but it might be arrogation of power, it might be greed, it might be avarice. And so I want you to think about, as you go into this Sabbath, what are some things maybe you need to give up, you need to release yourself of, you would sacrifice to be a better person, to be a more whole person, just as that Nazarite looked at one of his finest features, his hair, and said, "This is unbecoming of me spiritually, even if it is becoming of me physically." So think about the ways in which you can grow, sometimes by subtraction. Shabbat Shalom.